with so much anger and disgust in his eyes. Why? The pastor had said I was a witch who was holding back my dad's progress. All because I had big eyeballs.
The best of talk on the station for talk.
Nobody should just give up their life like a chicken. Will the police have the ability to resurrect me when I am dead?
The problem we have in Lagos is a sense of entitlement to things of the state by certain individuals who believe that whether you like it or not, it belongs to them and their family.
Your number one station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Imagine that, Yvonne. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, by the way. It's 2 minutes right now past 5. Imagine that. A child has big eyeballs, and so the pastor says that you're the one holding your father's progress back. And so they take you to a church where the pastor is trying to deliver you, and your father's looking at you with anger and disgust in his eyes, and he's shouting at this 10-year-old, release my money, release my business. And that kind of thing is happening, and you're probably wondering, okay, where's the mother? Why didn't the mother save her? Why didn't the mother prevent this? And the girl says to us on Twitter, well, who do you think took me to the church to begin with? Who do you think took my father to the church to begin with?
Oh, Sandra, you said I should imagine, but I don't have to imagine. I lived that too. I wasn't. I was barely 5 or thereabouts. I do have this memory. Sometimes, even lately, these things come to me like a, there are some traumatic experiences you've dealt with, growing up that you didn't really know happened to you. But recently, as you grow older, you start getting flashes. Sometimes it's like they come to you in the dream.
So
sometimes,
your mind suppresses it.
Yes.
But now your mind is bringing it back.
Yes. I remember how my father would beat me continuously because he felt I was the cause of all his misfortune. I mean, everyone in my family saw me as a witch. I do not know why. Oh, I do know why. Because my dad had a relationship with an Igbo woman, and it didn't go well. So they broke up and she left, and my dad had to take care of us. So every time my father would label, because I look a lot like my mom. So my father would label me a witch. He would always, all his aggression, all his anger, he would pour it on me. So everyone, from my dad to my grandma to his sister, everyone in the family where I grew up saw me as a witch. So it was rather traumatic for me, I remember moving to Lagos to stay with my aunt, who then took me to this spiritualist who told her that I was a witch.
Oh, no.
And they were going to carry out exorcism or something like that, I don't know, to take off the evil spirit. And they had to strip me naked. I think I was about 10 or 11 at the time. They had to strip me naked and bathe me with this weird sponge and that kind of thing. So it's not something to imagine. It's something I lived with. It was so much that even up to my teens, even up to my teenage years, I still got that disgust. My father called me one day and told me he was going to kill me. He called his sister because he was in Port Harcourt. We were in Lagos. We were staying with his sister in Lagos. So he called her one day and just kept yelling at her and asked her to...
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Anyway, he asked her to give me the phone, and
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, honey.
And he just kept telling me how
It's okay.
how he was going to kill me, and how he was just going to get rid of me because he just hated me. That kind of hatred that even I at the point started questioning if he was my father. So he kept saying how he was going to kill me, or chase me away to go and live with my mother, that kind of thing. I remember sometimes he would hit me so hard, and I would tell him, I'm going to die, and he would say, die. I'm just going to bury you, and after a few days, we'll forget about you. So it's not something to imagine, and it's something that I lived, So, and it's quite unfortunate because a lot of young people, in this generation had the same experience, especially coming from tough backgrounds, backgrounds where they had to struggle a lot, that kind of thing. So, yes.
Vaughn, I don't even know if saying I'm sorry cuts it.
I mean, it's all right. I'm still dealing with it, but every day is a struggle, but we move
one day at a time.
One day at a time, yes.
And thank you for sharing your story with me. Honestly, I did not expect that you would have personal first-hand experience with this.
Oh well.
But I'm hoping that people who are listening see the amazing woman that you've become. And maybe have a rethink about the young child who currently is going through this in their hands right now, because you survived.
I did.
You survived, you got out, and one day you'll heal, and one day you'll look back at all of this, and maybe it'll be a little funny. Maybe.
Maybe.
Thank you so much,
Sandra.
Yvonne.
Thank you so much.
Lagos, let's talk, huh? Why do so many Nigerians believe that children can be witches? 0700-993-993-993. 0700-993-993-993. We have a number for female callers, 01-465-7190. I did not expect that conversation to go the way it did, to be very honest with you. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. For women, 01-465-7190. Why do so many Nigerians believe that children can be witches? 99.3. Hello. Thanks for calling. Sorry about that. Call back if you can. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Jonathan from Ikoyi.
Jonathan, welcome.
Yeah. Personally, I'm a live witness of what this sister is sharing.
Okay.
I'm from Rujam's home.
Okay.
But it happens that my mother was not with my dad.
Okay.
And in my own issue was that my father always stopped us from going to his brothers. That this one maybe is a witch. We shouldn't go there. Maybe it will kill us all like that.
Okay.
But now I see it in a different angle. I go to church. I pray my own. I say my own business is God and no any other thing. So when he say don't eat in this family, this house, his brother house, me I'll go there and say, what is this? I will eat. To a point, he called all other my brothers, sit down, and told them that the other one was in Lagos and Calabar, all over like that. They will invite all of them that they should be afraid of me. That if case not taken, I will go and accept message from there to come and kill any member of the family. I felt shocked. So throughout that period, I was not getting myself. I became like, either maybe I'm hurt in the family or whatsoever. Anything that comes my way is a bad thing. But thank God I did not give up. But at the time the man was dying, but he called others back and tell them that they should look at me. That they should take example from whom I am. That if he died today, whatsoever mess up like that. But I begin to question myself that, was it not the same man who was saying that if they are not careful with me, I will go and collect baton to come and kill the family? What has he observed? But life today, there are things that are happening in life. Those things are real. The child himself may be innocent. He or she may be innocent. There are some bad people that have eyes that they see the future of a child. They may influence him spiritually. And when they come to such a family, to see that they will kill the child's destiny. But if your parents are not wise enough to discover it or take it legally or maybe, spiritually to tackle to save that child's life, they may waste that child's life. You may die because maybe there is nobody to speak for the child.
Do you have children?
I have children now. I have 3 children.
And if somebody comes and says to you that one of your children is a witch, or that all three of your children are witches, what would you do? How would you handle that?
So such things like that is what I'm advising, that we should not just take it like that, that maybe you go back punishing such a child, or maybe frustrating the child, neglect the child that is no more your biological child or whatsoever. It's not the problem of the child, is not a problem. People that may influence that in spiritually, they are there.
All right, thank you very much for calling me. 99.3, hello.
Hello, Sandra.
Thank you for calling. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Alex.
Hi, Alex.
I want to ask you, Sandra, why is it there is only a poor man's child that is caught as a witch?
That's a good question.
Especially in this part of the world.
That's a good question.
Why don't you have a big man that is a wealthy man's child that is caught as a witch? It's poverty that is worrying us. It's the same reason why there are some people that you will not find inside police cell on a Friday evening. Because they are helpless. It's just poverty. You don't. There are some things, there are some indicators that you don't find among the wealthy. It's another way that we used to oppress ourselves. Show me one rich man in Calabar and all those places where they kill witches, where they burn witches, children. Show me one that is a rich man's child. Just one in the history of that thing. Show me one single one that is a rich man's child. Not a single one. It's poverty that is killing us.
Thank you very much for calling, Alex. If you just joined the show, we're asking today, why do so many Nigerians believe that children can be witches? This is a topic that gets some people agitated, but it's a topic we need to talk about every year, every month, every week, every day, maybe every hour. Because children in Nigeria are going through some hardships or punishments because the adults around them believe that they are witches, or that they are possessed by demons, or that they are demons themselves. Here's today's big hard fact. A survey done in 2010 found that 85% of street children in one local government area in Akwa Ibom were forced out of their homes after being accused of witchcraft. I want you to think about that. 85%. That's 17 out of 20. Think about that. 20 children, 17 of them living on the streets, forced out of their homes after being accused of witchcraft. Now, 2 years before 2010, in 2008, there was another study. That study covered both Akwa Ibom and Cross River. And they estimated that in those two states, up to 15,000 children had been accused of witchcraft. This problem is not restricted to Akwa Ibom or Cross River. It's all over Nigeria. It's a problem. It's leading to homeless children. It's also leading to children getting maltreated, deprived of food, abused verbally, emotionally, physically, tortured, even killed. You heard Yvonne's story. Who would think, we don't look like what we've been through? You look at someone like Yvonne, look at the great work she's doing at Nigeria Info, and then she tells you a story like that about her past. And I swear to God, we need to talk about the causes of this phenomenon. What is making otherwise normal adults insist that children, their own children, picking where you wash hand born, is a witch or is an agent of Satan? What are the factors? Whether it's your child or your ward or your relative, what belief systems, what ideas are making adults torture, drive away, or mistreat these children? When we started, I shared the story of that person who was 10 years old and shared their own story. You heard Yvonne's story as well. What are the factors? Somebody has called in and said poverty. Do you agree that it is poverty? We've got Odinaka on the line. Odinaka, how are you?
Yes,
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
No cost of practices is one African superstition belief. You know, the ancient time, people usually believe that if a child has some kind of vomiting or did not come out the way it's supposed to be, that means the child is an agent of one evil spirit.
Oh, Odnaka, unfortunately, your line is not very clear. I'm so sorry. Please call back if you can, okay? 99.3, hello?
Hello, my dear lady Sandra Ezekwesili.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Good evening. My name is Azubike.
Good to have you back here.
Let me say about. I very concur with the second to the last caller for what he just said. You know, in this our African mentality, we believe on the witch or no witches because those rich people, they are children. I haven't seen any one of them that say this one is a witch, but rather is the poor people children that is a witch. If you find yourself in a very poor background, that is where you'll be seeing all those witches. Because everybody there will be thinking so evil thinking within themselves. But if you find yourself in a rich family, they don't talk about witch. Rather, they will think how they can be able to fast forward their ambition in life. But those poor people, what they were thinking is how to bring somebody down so that everybody will become the same equal level.
But what has bringing somebody down got to do with your own child, accusing your own child of witchcraft and maltreating them as a result?
Okay, come. Let me tell you what is happening in those areas that we are talking about. That we are talking about. Sometimes, some of those clergy men, they actually use that opportunity to create a problem in people's family. Maybe they may say that this child, the way they are saying this child may be a witch, that somebody has possessed this child.
Where does that belief come from? How did we come about believing things like that?
The way we are believing things like that, if it is a clergyman that came and told us that this person is a witch, we will think because of is a clergyman that what he saying is true.
So the clergy are the problem. Is that what you're saying? They are the problem?
Yes, why I say that is their problem. There's some churches that we go. They may not tell you that your senior brother or your junior sister is thinking bad against you.
Yes, but when they tell you as a parent that your own child, your own pikin na witch, wetin they make you believe am so you go begin maltreat your pikin?
Although me even tell me such a thing, I may not just started maltreating my child like that. Rather, I'll put into the hand of God by praying so seriously over my child.
Azubike, thank you very much for calling. I've got Esther here with me. Esther is from Akwa Ibom. I told you how in Akwa Ibom, 85% of street children in one local government were forced out of their homes after being accused of witchcraft. Now, this is not a problem that is unique to Akwa Ibom. It's a problem all across Nigeria. In the news yesterday, I was hearing about a girl who was locked up in a room by her parents for 15 years. She was locked up in the room when she was 10, and she had been in that room for 15 years, and her parents refused to let her out. We have several stories of people chaining their sons, daughters, relatives to trees because some alpha or some imam has come and said this one is possessed or has witchcraft. What is it about us as a people? What are the factors, Esther, in your opinion, that has led so many Nigerians to this point?
Firstly, I want to say thank you for this opportunity given to me. I'll speak based on my
your
state.
experience,
Yeah,
okay.
what I've experienced also. I was once accused of being a witch. Okay, that it was my stepmother, my mom. Like, she was my mom's friend, and you know what happened, what led to another. My dad slept with her, and the guy she wanted my dad. And in order for her to do that, there's this local government called Uran.
Okay.
And those people are more like a wicked people.
Okay.
So I think she did something to my dad, and my dad abandoned us.
Okay.
So he wasn't taking care of us at that time.
Okay.
Then I was still young. Then we we left Lagos, from Lagos to Akwa Ibom State. Since then, whenever, like, basically, I would say, I don't know if it's only Akwa Ibom State, but I know that everywhere, like, they always feel this Christendom of a thing, it's just too much. You know, when you go to church and they'll be like, oh, this person is possessed, you don't know how it looks like. Do you know, if you ask them, they don't know what a witch, you don't know how it looks like, if they've seen it before, but what they've been saying, they accused her of being a witch. So I and my younger sisters, we were 3 at that time, and they said we were witch, so we would do dry fasting. We would forgo our schools that time. We would do 6 to 6. Most times we would fast for like a month or 2. We were very young that time. I think I was 6, 7, and they were like 5, thereabout. So sorry my voice, because whenever I try to recall stuff like that, it's heartbreaking. Then we would fast, and they were like, your mom, like, no, she's the one telling my dad what to do. Like, oh, look, that's his wife, his ex-wife, which is my mother, is the one sending his children to
come and bewitch him.
Yes, and his properties are in the witchcraft realm, and stuff like that. We're seeing lots of stuff. And
was your father wealthy?
He wasn't. He was just an average, man.
Middle class Nigerian.
Yeah. And we would fast. We'd leave our schools. I went to different schools. And all those while I was crying. So like the way they painted my mom to be like this bad person, and you're like, sure, you saw. Do you know how to vomit a witch? Like they're like, how do you people stand in the witchcraft wall? You people stand like this. We would say yes because we did not know.
Because you wanted to get out of the problem.
Yeah, we didn't know what was happening, and they would take us to churches and they would tell us, oh yeah, pray, oh yeah, die. Like they said, if you don't bring out my dad's property, you're gonna die. And we were crying to the extent I almost killed myself. And my younger sister was not crying. She was like, if you do this, who's going to take care of us? And I felt bad. I had to. Then, to cut the story short, these pastors, they were using the opportunity. They brought red candles, yellow candle, black, and all this stuff. They brought it, and they put this plantain fruit on my head. They have to wash. They took my bath with a dirty water, and then I put it in my private part. And immediately after I did that, not up to like an hour, I couldn't work. Like man was more like sexually harassing me. When I told my dad about it, he was like, "It's a lie. You want to see a man and stuff like that." And got to extend to a point where we did 3 months fasting. I was the only one that survived. My younger one, they gave us something in an ever rubber, like those big bottle rubber, sky blue, and they're like, vomit the witch. And we're like, yes, we're vomiting. And what came out was just our saliva. But nothing came out. I'm like, why would they do this? I was scared. They told my dad that it was my younger sister that is the cause of the problem, that her heart is too strong, that if she doesn't bring out my dad's property, that they will kill her. So my sister didn't know what to do. She was just crying that day, 12 midnight. They did a celebration. My dad, I know, just once, my dad has bought stuff for us. Just once in our entire life, like during that period. He did not do anything about it. So we're now doing fasting. We did celebration for the
release of his property.
Yes.
This is it's such a sad story, and I'm sorry that you went through that, and I'm grateful that you're sharing your story with me, and I see how difficult it is for you to get out. But we do need to take a break. Lagos, I want to hear more of your stories, and I also feel like this is one of those subjects that will last for a while. This is one of those topics that we'll talk about a few more times, because there's no time. Honestly, we are completely out of time. But we will take this break. When we come back, maybe we'll take a few calls so you can share your experiences. But I am particularly interested in why you think this thing happens in Nigeria the way it does. What are the factors that make people believe in child witches? I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. This is Nigeria Info 99.3. Don't go away.
Charles! Yes, mommy? Go and bring 2 sachets of hyper bleach for me. Why 2? too?
Because I'm using one to soak the whites and using one to kill all the germs.
But I can't see any germs here.
They are so tiny you can't see them, but they are there. And that is why I trust only Hypobleach to kill them all.
Make your white fabrics whiter and your household free of illness causing germs and viruses with the disinfecting power of Hypobleach.
Hello, good afternoon. How may I help you, please?
Yes, I would like to buy data to watch plenty videos. You know now, music, sports, in short, everything on YouTube.
What is your budget, sir?
As low as possible.
Well, how does 50 naira for an hour sound?
50 naira for 1 hour? Ha! Talk true!
Yes, with Glow YouTube plan, you can stream all your favorite YouTube videos for as low as 50 naira.
Hey, what do I do?
Simply dial *777# to get started.
Get the super affordable YouTube time-based plans from Glow and start feasting on your favorite YouTube videos for as low as 50 naira for 1 hour during the day and 50 naira for 5 hours at night. Dial *777#, select data, select social bundle, and select YouTube to choose the Glow YouTube plan that's just right for you.
Glow Unlimited.
Hey Ali, how are you?
I'm tired, Shadi. My bank is bashing my head with charges.
Have I not shown you how to break free from suffer-head banking?
Is it that kudo something?
Kuda, Ali. It's Kuda.
That one, Kuda. Are they even safe?
Hey, wait till I start. They don't charge me account or card maintenance fees.
My bank has even charged for a debit card I don't have.
My Kuda card was free and delivered to my house free. I have never paid a naira for owning this card.
What about transfers?
Kuda will give you 25 free transfers to other banks every single month for the rest of your life.
You're right, Sha. Shadi. Is your hotspot on?
Better use your own data.
Shadi.
Kuda Microfinance Bank gives you an account with free transfers, a free card, and 0 ridiculous fees. Break free now. Get Kuda on Google Play or the App Store now and open a full bank account in a few minutes. Kuda, the bank of the free.
Do you know that one stream of income cannot create your desired future wealth? More men have become great through practice than by nature. Thanks to Forex trading, you can now make more money daily using your mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-enabled device. Let Handtech Market, a multi-tier regulated Forex brokerage firm with over 30 years experience, show you how. At Handtech Markets, we offer free trainings, an award-winning signal providing tool, fast deposit and withdrawal options, outstanding customer service, and much more. To get started, visit our website www.hmarkets.com or send an SMS with your name and location to 0805-690-5612. That is 0805-690-5612. It's time to break free from financial limitations, and Handtech Markets, it's your lasting solution.
See one as a short cap guy, we sabi all the shortcuts with this town. All my female fans, they know they let me rest. Now before to pick this kind call, my chest go dey cut. Before I go call Clara Bossy, call Hawa Stella. You don't see confusion. Now it make me put what they call MTN who they call on top my phone. I beg, make I pick my short customer call. Hey, the one and only Miss Agmara. Where they carry you go this time?
To sabi who they call, even when you no get data, turn off Kulele Mind with MTN who they call. Now 5 naira per day and 50 naira per month. That's a 5058 hash. Make you enjoy.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Football is back, and there are more ways to win on BetKing. With mega odds and the widest market selections ever, you can increase your winnings with an accumulated bonus of up to 225%. Don't have an account? Visit betking.com to sign up now and claim a welcome bonus up to 100,000 naira. Stay safe and keep kinging. BetKing, playground for kings.
Charles!
Yes, mommy?
Go and bring 2 sachets of Hypobleach for me.
Why 2?
Because I'm using one to soak the whites and using one to kill all the germs.
But I can't see any germs here.
They are so tiny you can't see them. But they are there. And trust only Hypobleach to kill them all.
Make your white fabrics whiter and your household free of illness causing germs and viruses with the disinfecting power of Hypobleach.
Oh boy, check this new La Casera packaging now. Paulo say the freshness don't fresh. Me say na lie. The refreshment don't fresh. Now the matter with the set to so.
Bring and make us.
Wait, why now?
Hey, same ultra apple taste. Fresh new label. The refreshment don't fresh. Enjoy the fresh vibes of La Casera with new colorful, exciting look. But the bangba apple taste no change. La Casera, I love this drink.
Running a growing business is not easy. It's all hands on deck for me and my small team of 12. I know that to get the best out of them, their health must be in tip-top shape. But most HMOs I approached said I have to have at least 20 staff before I can get on a plan. They don't cater to small businesses. Then I found Reliance HMO. And just like that, they got my team and I registered seamlessly. What's even mind-blowing is that their rates are flexible and affordable while not compromising on quality care. I have not received any complaints from my team since they got on board. The service is that great. Indeed, you can rely on Reliance HMO for your small businesses and its healthcare needs.
Visit reliancehmo.com/corporate or call 0700-7354-2623 to get a quote for your small business and start enjoying reliable healthcare today. Reliance HMO. You can rely on us.
You can FaceTime me on the go. Baby, I got you.
In 300 meters, turn right.
You know you can call me on the phone. Baby, I got you.
In 40 meters, make a left turn.
Oh, baby. You can reach me overseas, my dear. When I follow,
You have arrived at the Glow World Smartphone Festival. Congratulations!
Welcome to Glow World, the one place everyone is going to enjoy the best deals with the Glow Smartphone Festival data plans. Get up to 12 gigabytes for 6 months on all smartphone purchases. Also get amazing gifts like headsets, Bluetooth speakers, backpacks, and so much more on select smartphones. Offer valid till the 30th of April 2021. T&Cs apply.
Glow Unlimited.
Hey, Ali. How are you?
I'm tired, Shadi. My bank is bashing my head with charges.
Have I not shown you how to break free from sufferhead banking?
Is it that kudo something?
Kuda, Ali. It's Kuda.
That one, Kuda. Are they even safe?
Hey, wait till I start. They don't charge me account or card maintenance fees.
My bank has even charged for a debit card I don't have.
My Kuda card was free and delivered to my house free. I have never paid a naira for owning this card.
What about transfers?
Kuda will give you 25 free transfers to other banks every single month for the rest of your life.
You're right, Sha. Shadi. Is your hotspot on?
Better use your own data.
Shadi. Kuda Microfinance Bank gives you an account with free transfers, a free card, and 0 ridiculous fees. Break free now. Get Kuda on Google Play or the App Store now and open a full bank account in a few minutes. Kuda, the bank of the free.
Before now, getting a good HMO that works perfectly for my staff was a lot of hassle. Many HMOs come with cumbersome registration. It gets worse when my staff come back to complain about the terrible service they get from these HMOs. I decided to give Reliance HMO a try based on glowing recommendations I received from my HR colleagues, and I was not disappointed. I was able to register all 100 staff in 5 minutes. I have access to a 24-hour responsive helpline and an account manager that helps me with any issue. My staff raves about the premium service they receive from Reliance HMO. They especially love the access to gym, spa, dental care, and the hospital roaming. I no longer worry myself about issues concerning HMO. Reliance HMO does that for me. I will recommend them any day.
Visit reliancehmo.com/corporate or call 0700-7354-2623 to get a quote for your company and start enjoying reliable healthcare today. Reliance HMO. You can rely on us.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and today we're talking about why so many Nigerians believe that children can be witches. When we started, you heard Yvonne's story, and then you heard Esther's story. Esther told us about how they were given some concoction in church to drink and vomit their father's property. And two of her sisters died as a result of the maltreatment. She was sexually harassed multiple times, sexually assaulted, raped multiple times. And then she also talks about the fact that even after that, her father was still not wealthy. Even after they went to wherever it is that they go to go and retrieve whatever the hell they're retrieving, father still ended up not being successful. So they just tortured these children for nothing. And my question is why? I've been reading a lot of academic research on child witch hunt problem in Nigeria and in Africa. And let's be clear with our language. These children are not witches. Let's be very clear, because I'm getting some messages on WhatsApp that are pissing me off. Let's be clear. These children are not witches. Instead, the adults are guilty of conducting witch hunts. So back to the research. They list a few root causes of this trend. Remember, I've been asking you, what are the factors that make people believe in child witches? Some of this research says that in some ethnic groups, there are cultural beliefs about human beings being witches or having supernatural powers or being controlled by spiritual forces to do evil. That's why this issue is more common in some tribes than in other tribes. But cultural beliefs alone doesn't explain this. After all, modernization has been happening for the last century or so. There's a reason we're not killing twins anymore. Many other dangerous cultural beliefs have died out simply because we now know better. I'm always using that example of killing twin babies. If we still killed twins, I will not be hosting Hard Facts. I would be dead, along with my twin brother. But those days are gone. So there must be some factors that have kept this cultural myth of child witches alive. And I wonder what you think those are. Apart from culture, there's also religion. 2 stories we've heard so far. 3, actually. If you count the story that the lady shared on Twitter about being 10 years old. 3 stories so far. And 3 of them have told us how it was pastors who were making these revelations that these children were witches. Some branches of Christianity, a lot of the research papers say that some of these branches are responsible for this. Those research papers I was reading said that child witch hunts got more common in the 80s and in the 90s, and they were often tied to churches. Lots of newer churches in some parts of Africa were preaching a doctrine that was full of prophecy and miracles and signs and wonders. And in that preaching, they talked a lot about supernatural forces. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers. Okay. Also, there was a tendency, especially in the rural areas, where, again, poverty, like one of my callers said, for these Christian beliefs to mix with old traditional beliefs. So suddenly people remember that in the old days, they talked about children that were witches. Suddenly someone says, hey, now the same principalities will they talk. And so suddenly witches start to reign. We've seen many cases of pastors or churches who say that they specialize in deliverance from witchcraft and demon possession. They do these exorcisms like the one that girl's parents took her to, or the one that Yvonne's parents took her to, or the one that Esther's parents took her to. And by doing this, they're also spreading the belief that people, even children, can be witches. And then you now talk about poverty and lack of education. It goes hand in hand. People living in poverty often have many calamities happening to them. If they don't have an education to help them make sense of those calamities, they're more likely to believe that there's a supernatural reason for those calamities. That's why when you move abroad, you're not religious anymore. How many Nigerians who live abroad are still very religious? They're very few. And it so happens that in Nigeria, the common reason people give is somebody they winch you. That's why you are not rich. It's just a matter of time until, the children are blamed for somebody's misfortunes. And I have to ask what you think. Now, I've told you what the research says, but what do you say? What do you think are the reasons this child witch hunt problem is so widespread? It's not just in Akwa Ibom or Calabar or Enugu or Lagos or Rivers. It's all over the country. What can we do to end it? What's your own story? What's your own experience with this particular problem? Our number for women, 01465 7190. 01465 7190. We've got 0700 993 993 993 for men. Hello, thank you very much for calling us. What's your name? Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for calling. What's your name?
Good evening. I'm TJ.
Hi, TJ. Good evening.
Good evening. I heard about what you're talking about and asking the reason for these things. Okay, first of all, I've experienced something like this too. When I was growing up, when my dad died, they blamed me. They said I was the one that killed him.
Oh no.
And it was a problem. But although my mom kind of stood against it, but my grandmom, she kept pushing. Right from when I was young, I used to have this bedwetting problem as a child.
Okay.
So they just said, oh, okay, this is why she's having a bedwetting problem, because she's a witch.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So I used to go from 10 years old. I used to go to churches. I used to fast, like what Esther said. They would give me weird mixtures to drink, conduct weird deliverances and all that. But I come to understand one of the reasons. Okay. Nigerians, we tend to how will I put it? They tend to practice what I call escapism.
Okay.
We have problems in this country, and then we just decide, oh, okay, it's not us. Let's blame something else. Let's look for a higher thing to blame.
We don't take responsibility for our actions.
Yes, we don't. We don't. We see people. I was listening to the news before now. The show before now, and people were complaining that NEPA people would pack money and then they would collect money for 2 months, and they'll end up using it and collect money for 2 months and end up using it for like the whole year. And then the people that see this are like, oh, it's the government that is the problem. Nigerians tend to always blame other things. Like so then these pastors or these so-called ministers of God just see that, okay, this is the part of us that we have. This is the problem that we have. And then
Let's capitalize on it.
Exactly.
How do we end it? Because children are suffering needlessly for this nonsense.
They are. A lot of kids, even my, I was talking to my friends, we're chatting about this show, and then they were talking about their own stories, and I hope they call in. I think one of the reasons we should do away is, I get the fact that religion is important, but many of us should stop practicing that part of religion that is escapism. Like, I don't even know how to explain it now, but we as Nigerians, if you go abroad, these things don't happen. Or is it that demons are not abroad?
Good question.
As nobody asks that, is it that there's a part of the world that demons just centralize and
just
stay?
Escape.
They don't have any other place in the world. I think the problem we have is that we don't take responsibility. And also, we don't know, we that as Christians, because most of these things from churches, we don't even know the word of God for ourselves. So when one so-called man of God, I was saying this thing, we idolize our pastors a lot. So whatever they say is law. We even take them more than, in fact, any other thing that anybody said. As far as our pastor has said it is law. So these things, we idolize our pastors a lot. So, and these ones, they know that they are idolized, and they have to make it look, they have to, the whole idolatry thing, you have to have some pizzazz in quotes. They have to just make it look weird. As a child, I remember they did this thing on me where they covered my face and put me into water.
I
was drowning, and I was drowning, and I was screaming. My grandma, because my mom didn't know, because my grandma was the one always taking me everywhere. And then
baby.
my grandma would be like, yes, that's the demon coming out. And then the guys, and because I wanted to get out of it, I didn't know my dad was so sick. When I wanted to get out of it, so I just acted along. When they would pour me water, I would pretend like I was a witch. I would manifest in quotes and all those things. And they told me to forgive my father, that I was holding him in sickness. And the funny thing is that he had cancer. It wasn't my fault. But they said it was my fault because I was the one, I hated him. And I didn't know why I would hate my own dad. But they said at the end of the show, I mean, I had to forgive my father, do a lot of things, but he still died. And then many people were like, yeah, it's because you didn't really forgive him, you were lying.
Oh my God. Now,
So
is your grandma still alive?
Oh, she's very well alive, very much alive.
So what's your relationship like with her now? Do you people talk about it? Have you ever raised it
No,
up?
it's like this weird topic that nobody talks about.
Nobody touches it.
Like this like elephant in the room. Everybody. Funny enough, we talk a lot. She calls like I'm her favorite grandchild.
Oh no. Oh, sorry, Mama. And thanks for calling and sharing your story with me. I have Ese who says, I remember pointing to a random spot in the school compound when the headmistress and teachers were torturing me to show where I buried the school's glory. Got tired of calling me out of class every day to flog and punish me. I was barely 5 years old. Nah, man. I know go school pass, so but nah, man. You people have to. Come on, man. You people have to see now. You people have to. 99.3. Hello.
Hello, Sandra.
Thanks for calling. What's your name?
This is Ada.
Ada, welcome. Go ahead.
Okay, so I don't want to start talking plenty story. I just want to answer your question of what will help us stop it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you see, if you don't believe in something, you don't go looking for it. You don't go asking questions, and you won't find any answers.
Okay.
Because you see these pastors, because they know that a typical religious person will always come to look for, if I want to travel now, I'll come and say, please, I want to travel. Let me check whether something will happen on the road. Of course, he's going to find out something. If he doesn't find out, then what is his work? You understand? So it's a lot easier for them to get people to believe this.
By selling them nonsense.
Exactly. But the truth is, we don't want to take away the fact that there are demons. Do you get?
Okay.
But like the Bible says that, God's word says we should not don't do for divination. Don't go have any business with spiritism. As long as you don't go looking for them, you won't have business with them. Because they use what we call mediums. And once they have access to you, they will keep looking for ways. It's like it's like somebody who is like buying fuel. Once you have a car, you must be buying fuel.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way out is to stop believing in it and stop, what's the English? Stop supporting it. That's just it. It's as simple as that. Once you do that, it goes away.
Thank you very much for calling me. I've got a message here. Those children accused of witchcraft are legends and geniuses that God have inspired for greater things. They accuse them falsely because of their gifted potential. All right. Thank you very much for your message. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. I have a message from Rita who says, I'm one of those that hardly believes that one can be possessed with one spirit or the other till I saw the case of this girl, and right in my presence she removed a ring where her power lies. So in most cases they are actually possessed. It's not about accusation in most cases. Some of these children are possessed with demonic powers. I've seen many of them confessing of being responsible of their parents' problem. Last month in one of our night vigils in the church during prayer, a girl of 13 years was confessing on her own. No pastor or any minister was praying or conducting any deliverance on her, just as prayers were going on. So that's why I strongly believe. I have things to say, but the ethics of the profession are stopping me from saying it. We've got Tajuddin who says, Sandra, the topic you're treating is a critical one. I congratulate your colleague Yvonne for surviving the wicked mentality of her dad. As a journalist myself, I'm a fan due to her deep and very good voice. Those who maltreat their children on allegation of being a witch or the impediment to success, to me, they're barbaric, they're ignorant, they're wicked, they suffer from a disease called intellectual poverty. Any pastor, imam, or cleric who trades on these antics is an enemy of humanity. Such should stop the nonsense, repent, and change their ways. Tajuddin from Ojukokoro, thank you very much for your message. Now, how do we put an end to this? Does the government need to step in? Is that what needs to happen? Esther was telling me about the government in Akwa Ibom providing 10 billion naira for a church in Akwa Ibom. And she was saying to me, Sandra, imagine that 10 billion naira was put forward to build a center where these children who are out on the streets can have a home where they can stay. Because remember, I told you in Akwa Ibom, as of 2010, 85% of children who were on the streets were out on the streets because somebody accused them of witchcraft. That's 17 out of 20. If you see 20 children on the streets, 17 of them were kicked out because somebody accused them of witchcraft. And the state had 10 billion naira, and instead of putting it into a center for helping these children access a great future, a bright future, they put it in a religious center. So perhaps somebody needs to start dragging government officials by the ear and asking them, Oga, what is this rubbish you're doing? Because this is absolute rubbish. It's absolute rubbish. We have somebody who shared her story about when she was 5 and she had to admit that, oh, see where I buried the thing. Because every day they were beating her. Every day they were accusing her of something. How do you starve a child for months on end and that child will not confess to whatever so that you leave her the hell alone or leave him the hell alone? Now, wow. We've got more messages here. Someone says the factors are religious belief system. That's Johnson from Amuotofing. The factors are religious belief system, people esteeming the clergymen of God above God, ignorance, wrong scriptural interpretation, lack of exposure. But that's the funny thing. Do you know that in the Bible, there's nowhere that children are witches? There's nowhere in the Bible where a child is a witch. So where did people get it from? It's from your culture. So you carried your culture into the church and you're preaching it as the doctrine of Christ. It's not the doctrine of Christ. You're a quack. You're a fake. I don't care if this annoys you. I really don't care because children's lives are involved here. Esther lost her siblings. Can you imagine being a child, a child who is less than 10 and watching 2 of your sisters die before you after drinking some concoction that a pastor gave them because of false allegations of witchcraft? So I don't care if you are hurt by what I'm saying. It needs to end. It needs to end yesterday. And I don't know how we get it to end. And I'm quite disappointed by the people who are calling me and telling me, oh, Sandra, yes, it's true. Children can be possessed. Possessed by what? By whom? You. Someone says, oh, vomit my business. No, your child is not holding on to your business. You just don't know how to do business. That's it. That's it. You don't know how to do business. If your business is doing badly, it's not because your child jazzed you. Your child was at home or at school. Your business is doing badly because you don't know how to do business or because there's bad market or the economy is not good. Now wow. This is a conversation we're going to have again because there's so much to unpack. Because people are going to school and it looks like it's just, to learn ABC. It's not really to open their minds. Let me dash you 10K. Brought to you by Creditville.
Do you earn an income? Are you in need of funds for your child's school fees? Is your car or equipment old?
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria